welcome back to my channel. I want to try something a little bit different this time around. I know in my past video I always talk about lifestyle, motherhood, and maybe a little bit of fitness, but actually what I really have in mind, I really want to talk about it, is entrepreneurship. So as many of you guys may or may not know, I actually has been running my own business for the last 4 years, and since 2017 I actually has been running two businesses. One is my core business, which is the chiropractic healthcare related business. Another one is Boston Asia, which is an incubator helping a mother entrepreneur to start their own business. So this video, I want to share you a bit more about how to start your own either entrepreneur journey or your own business, and what are the key questions you need to ask for yourself before you jump into. I know the journey of entrepreneurship is has a lot of uncertainty, and if you haven't done this, if you never have done it before, lots of risk involved. And so right now, before you jump into this whole journey of running your business, entrepreneurship, being dependent with your finances, I think there's 5 key questions you really need to ask yourself before you actually jump in. So this is based on my experience. I have come up with 5 questions. So let's dig in. Okay, so question number 1 says, is your product or service you are about to provide legal in your, in the places you're gonna run your business? So this can come in from different things, because number one, if you are wanting to selling a product or promoting a product, you want to make sure you meet all the legal guidelines. For example, in Singapore, anything that you put in your mouth must go through so-called the local Food and Drug Administration testing. So let's say if you're seeing some product maybe in US or UK, you think you has a great market to maybe bring to Singapore or your home country to sell, but it's best for you to check out your local Food and Drug Administration to check out if there's an additional testing for you to go through, or even providing ingredient list. And when it comes to testing of a new product, the process can be a bit tedious. So again, this is where you kind of factor in the costs and how much it costs for you to run a test to make sure the product you are bringing in is safe. So that's number 1. Number 2 is about service. You have to see in certain countries, when it comes to service, there's certain guidelines. So either local associations or professional associations to give you some sort of guideline or framework of who or what to provide such service. For example, in the United States, even you're just a hairstylist, you need to get a certificate or some sort of license through your state to so-called be a hairstylist. But that might be the case in other countries, such as in Singapore. As long as you have proper education, it's good enough for you to provide such service. So all these different things you must keep in mind before you're, jumping into building your own service line or own products. Like, what's the legal framework within it, and if you need any legality for it in order to bring the service or the product to your current market. Okay. My number 2 questions you need to ask for yourself is there a market for your either product or service? So what I'm talking about is, sometimes as entrepreneurs, we can be quite focused in what we believe will be very beneficial, but what we see may not be what's the market see. So it's the best way for you to understand is you want to do a little bit of research to see what's the market size currently. For example, this is an article from Forbes 2018 that the fitness industry in the United States is about $30 billion annually, and it is actually growing for 2 to 3% consistently for the last 5 years. So that means, let's say if you want to jump into fitness industry or fitness related business, the market size is quite big and it have very healthy growth. So that means it has a room for you to bring in whatever business model that you're having. These researches you must take in considerations, and you must need to understand whether or not there's a market for that. Okay, so after you're understanding the size of market or the potential growth of your product market or service market, the third question you need to ask yourself is, how unique is your product or service or a business model? The reason for that, let's use the example of the fitness industry. It has a quite sizable market and people are definitely getting into the hype of fitness, but does your service or product or business model have a unique position of sales? We call it UPS. So what does it mean is there's so many gym or yoga. Let's say you're thinking about doing some kind of sort of fitness center on the market, and does your brand or business model have a unique position of sales? Meaning, like, is it competitive or unique enough compared to your competitor or your peers? So this is something you really needed to ask for yourself. Is like, okay, how different are you compared to other peers on the market? And asking for yourself, like, why your customers choose you rather than your competitors. So all these things you needed to have a place in mind, and you're always trying to get a second opinions about your UPS, unique position of sales. So definitely need to sort that out before you jump in. Okay, so let's get to the question number 4. Yeah, this is where the money is. Where are you getting the sales? Okay, this question is kind of closely related to your previous question, is how unique is your product, how competitive is your brand, is obviously how to get the sales. What's your marketing strategy with that? Are you appealing to a mass market, meaning, for example, orange juice, what's the famous brand orange juice, US? That's a mass market product, meaning everyone gonna have. Or are you more of a niche product, such as, for example, certain skincare, let's say anti-wrinkle, anti-aging cream? That really narrow down your customer base. So you want to find out, is your product or service more of a mass market product, or is more of a niche market? My opinion is the market is always very big and competitive. Creating your own niche, find something that is kind of filling that gap of the customer needs in order to gain the market traction. A very interesting example is I'm here going to use something that everybody knows is Facebook. Everyone who grew up in the 90s understand Facebook is a social media platform, meaning it's a social network platform. You actually see a need of people wanting to connect with each other. So it created something that is convenient, and is obviously it was riding on the growth of internet and technology, so it can grow very fast and spreading to everyone else. But when I first encountered Facebook is only available at a college, meaning you have to have a college email in order to log in. So initial intention of Facebook is connecting your classmate, perhaps to exchange notes or study together, or if you want to sell your own textbook. So in that way to connect with each other. So when it comes to the connectivities, is a big market. There's many ways you can connect with one another. But Facebook found a niche within the college students. They know we are savvy with the internet. Everybody have access to some sort of computers. Very nicely into that market of connectivities. So this is something you need to think about. Is how is your business able to just nicely to create that small little niche, small little piece of a pie for yourself. If you can find and create that small piece of pie, it will be very beneficial for you to grow your business and be an authority of that industry. Okay, so one tip I wanted to talk about is understanding your target audience. As a chiropractor, I see many of my peers making the same mistakes over and over again, because we all thought chiropractic is for everybody. Yes, it's true, chiropractic is for everybody, but from what I always trying to tell or so-called promote is, if you are the business for everybody, you're in the business for nobody. Why I say that is because of internet and the easy access to information, everybody just can get information in the snap of finger. So in a way, yes, if you are no ordinary than anyone else, it's very difficult for you to stand out, and that way you will lose the competitivity with your peer. So that's why I'm strongly encouraging you to understand what is your target audience. So an easier way to understand your target audience, think about it. If you're already in the business, think about your best clients, the best customers. What's the gender of that customer? Is it man? Is it women? What about the age group? Is it teenager, college students, mom, working dad, or elderly? What about socio-economic level? Are they in a low income, middle income? How much money are they able to spend? So once you can narrow down your so-called demographic of this very specific audience, you'll have a very, very easier direction of marketing towards them. For example, my second business, Bossman Asia, we're targeting specifically of modern mothers who have 1 or 2 kids, and they are interested in starting their own business or starting the journey of entrepreneurship. So in my demographic, instead of the whole women of customer base, I actually focus on just this very specific niche. So it's easier for me to establish our brand in the niche compared to establish your brand in the mass market. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, so this is the last questions. I find this question is very exciting, and it's something you really need to ask yourself before you jump in. Yes, how big can your business to be? In other words, how scalable is your business? When we talk about growing your own enterprise, company, business model, we always ask ourselves, have the end in mind. What is your ultimate goal for your starting this business? Is it for just earning a secondary income? Is it for you to achieve certain financial status you are looking for? Is it a way for you to buy a personal jet? Or is it a way for you to have that $2 or $3 million incomes by the end of time? So you must have that end in mind, is how scalable and what is your end goal for this. Example I want to use in here is a Redmark. Redmark is since I'm living and running a business in Singapore, Redmark is a local grocery delivery company. Actually, the Redmark started by one of the co-founders from Facebook. Maybe that's why I really like the business, Algorithmic Severance. And he see the need of people going to, going more of a model or behavior of online shopping. So he started Redmark. Was it profitable in the beginning? Actually, it's not. Redmark was kind of in the red. If you know accounting, when you talk about in the red, it means you are losing money every month. For a very long time, it was not profitable. But it has its goal in mind, is to be acquired by a much bigger company. Believe it or not, I think last year, Redmark was acquired by Lazada by $30 to $40 million. And then Lazada is even much, much bigger online shopping platform, and later acquired by Alibaba. So this is what you want to think about, what you see your company. Are you building your company to the point to be acquired by a much bigger company so you can have a nice cash out? Are you thinking about scaling up outside of your region or your countries? Or what are you okay or satisfied if we just can provide your secondary income or income? So these questions, having the end in mind will give you a much better direction and a goal to pursue when it comes to how fast and how big you want to grow your company or your business. So definitely keep in mind. I find the last question is always exciting because you can really look into your operational business model and see whether or not it is scalable enough for you to grow to be that size. So all right, so those are the questions I suggest you definitely need to go through before you jump into this journey of entrepreneurship or running your own business. And hopefully you'll find all this information useful or interesting. So I will continue to try to make more video about entrepreneurship and how to start your business, and why finances is your starting capital should be the last thing you worry about when you're running your own business. So meaning whether or not having that capital to start your business should be your last concern. So okay, please stay in tune. I hope you'll enjoy this video, and I will see you next time.